Hello everyone, I am Leela and I am from the Bodhi Academy. Today we'll be starting with the second chapter of economics, that is consumer behavior. Okay, now with regards to consumer behavior here in this chapter we'll be learning about consumer behavior. This comes in microeconomics. Here we study the behavior of the consumer, like how he spends his income, how the consumer spends his income. Okay, and after spending his income, after that how much the obviously he will spend his income on goods and services. What is the reason behind spending income, the budget of the consumer on goods and services? Why does a consumer spends his income on goods and services? Because of just to get a satisfaction. Okay, the word here which is very important is satisfaction. Okay, so now in this chapter, we'll be learning about consumer behavior. So consumer here, the topic which is very important is consumer equilibrium. So what do we mean by that? It refers to a situation when consumer maximizes his satisfaction. How a consumer will maximize his satisfaction by spending his income, okay, across different goods and services. So a consumer will try different goods and services. A consumer will try different goods and services and he will spend his income on that. Why he will spend his income on that? Just to get a maximum satisfaction. Okay. So it refers to, what do you mean by consumer equilibrium? Here a consumer is he is going to achieve more satisfaction, okay, while spending his given income. So whatever a consumer has income, so he will spend that particular income on different goods and services just to get a maximum satisfaction, okay. So it refers to a situation when consumer maximizes his satisfaction while spending his given income across different goods and services. So now the consumer is in equilibrium. When we say that a consumer is in equilibrium, when his given income and the market prices, and a particular consumer, he will plan his overall expenditure. Okay, how much should be the expenditure on different goods and services. Okay, in such a manner that a consumer should get his maximum satisfaction. Okay, so it means that a consumer should plan his income and a consumer should plan his income and expenditure. So it means that a consumer should plan his income and expenditure, okay, so that he can get maximum satisfaction. So that he can get maximum satisfaction. Okay. So this is meant by consumer equilibrium. Then utility. Utility is nothing but it is a want satisfying power of goods is called utility. So how much is that the satisfaction you got after spending your income on that particular good? Okay, so in other words, capacity of goods to satisfy human wants. How much that particular, let's say apple. Okay, apple, if I consume one apple, how much utility that particular apple will give to me, how much satisfaction will that particular apple will give to me after consuming. Okay, so in other words, capacity of good, how much this apple has got a capacity to satisfy a human wants. Okay, so this is mean by utility. So this is assumed to be measured in cardinal numbers. These are the cardinal numbers, or it is also called as utils of utility. Okay, so these numbers are called utils. the main term here is utils. Okay, so this is assumed to be measured in cardinal numbers such as 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. and go on. Okay, so util is the measures of utility. Okay, the measures of utility is called as utils. Total utility, here the concept of total utility is also very important. Total utility, TU. It is also denoted by TU. So it is a sum total of utility derived from the consumption of all the units of commodity. Okay, so after consuming all the units of a commodity, how much is the total satisfaction you get? So that is called as total utility. How much total satisfaction you got after consuming all the units of a commodity. So here it is the total of all the units of commodity. So it is the total of all the units of commodity. Okay, that is called as total utility. The next is, so here the example is given. Example 1. That is, if you ate 3 apples, okay, and after eating the 3 apples, you get 10 utils from the after consuming 6. Here, if there are 3 apples, and after consuming 1 apple, you get maximum satisfaction, that is 10 utils. Okay, you get 10 utils from the first apple. Then from second apple, after consuming second apple, you get 8 utils. I mean the 8 utils of satisfaction you are getting. And third apple, after consuming third apple, you will get 6 utils of, you are getting 6 utils of satisfaction. Okay, so what does this means? So this means that what is the total utility of the apples now here? The total utility, if we want to find out the total utility, I mean how much is the total satisfaction of that particular good, then we just have to add it up. Okay, like 10 plus 8 plus 6, so 24. So 24 is our total utility, which is derived from the consumption of all the units of commodity. Okay, so the total of this is 24. Okay, so 24 utils we got after consuming all the units of commodity. Okay, so here the units, how much it was given, 3 apples was given, and after consuming 1 apple we got 10 utils, the 10 satisfaction. Okay, coming to the next point is that, see, when you will consume the first apple, like if you want to have something, okay, so you'll get more satisfaction. Again, if you are consuming the second apple, you won't feel like that much satisfaction you won't get. Then after, again, if you are consuming the third apple, again the satisfaction will go down. Okay, so this is how the satisfaction level goes down, and this if you want to achieve this, the process should be continuous. Okay, so total utility is a sum of marginal utility. Okay, so how we denote TU? TU is equal to, that is total utility is sum of our marginal utility. Now, marginal utility means what? Okay, the concept of marginal utility is very important. Marginal utility means something extra what you are consuming. Marginal utility. Marginal utility. So it refers to additional utility, something additional to that on account of consumption of an additional unit of a commodity. So marginal utility is an addition made to that total utility by consuming one more unit of commodity. So what happens to this marginal utility is that it decreases and it even become negative as consumption increases. Now if we want to achieve marginal utility, okay, if you want to achieve marginal utility, then the consumption should be continuous. Okay, consumption of the commodity, consumption should be continuous of the commodity. So consumption should be continuous of the commodity if we want to achieve marginal utility. Marginal utility is something extra which we are having addition. So for example, I am just giving the example of samosas over here. So there are 10 samosas. Okay, there are 10 samosas. So after eating one samosa, I will get a total satisfaction of 10 utils. Okay, the process should be continuous. As I said, this is the assumption. Okay, the process should be continuous and it should be not like if you are eating samosa at now at 9 a.m. and then again you will eat that second samosa at 10 a.m. So your marginal utility, you won't be able to achieve that marginal utility. If you want to achieve marginal utility, then the process should be continuous over here. Okay, so the second samosa, after having the first samosa, you get 10 utils. Second samosa, you will get 8 utils. Then continue. Third samosa, you will get some 6 utils. Then fourth samosa, you are getting 5 utils. Then fifth, you are getting 4 utils of satisfaction after consuming. Okay, so I'll just write it up over here. Okay, so here after consuming one, you will get 10 utils. Second, 8 utils. Third one, you got 6 utils. Fourth, 5 utils. Fifth, 4, 6, 3, 7, you got 2, 8, you got 0, 9, you got -1, 10, you got -2. Okay. This is the utils. So as I said, the consumption of the commodity should be continuous. So it should be like okay, so it should be like whenever you are consuming the product, here the good which I took is samosa. So after consuming the samosa at a continuous period, so your utility, your marginal utility will go down and it will become 0, or it will become 0, or it can also go to negative figure. Okay, so later you won't feel like eating or having up the samosas anymore. Okay, because here you are continuously consuming that particular good. Okay, so this is your marginal utility. See, so marginal utility is a addition. What addition is made to total utility by consuming one more unit of a commodity, and marginal utility decreases and it becomes negative as consumption increases. Okay. So here if 10th unit of a commodity yields satisfaction of 100 utils and 11th unit of a commodity yields satisfaction of 105 utils, then additional utility on account of the consumption of 11 units of commodity is 5 utils. So 105 minus 100 utils. So 5 util, this is your marginal utility. Okay. Now this is what they have explained here is the total utility and marginal utility. Okay, so explain the concept of total utility and marginal utility with the help of schedule and diagram. Schedule means the table which they have given. So here it is given number of units consumed 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So 6 units are given. Total utility which is given after consuming one good is 10. second one is 18, third is 22, fourth 24, fifth 25, sixth 22. And what has happened to the marginal utility? Marginal utility, see, 10 minus 0, same for the first commodity. Second commodity is how much? 10 minus 18, so 8 marginal utility. What is marginal utility? It refers to additional utility on account of consumption of an additional unit. So here additional unit we got. Okay. Then this is how we can measure the marginal utility. This is the step to measure the marginal utility. Okay, so then we got for third unit of consumed, we got 22 as total utility. Then marginal utility, how we can get 22? This minus this. So how much is this? 4. Then 24 minus 22, we got 2. So it becomes 0, or it can also go to negative as consumption increases. Okay, see here the consumption has increased and marginal utility has decreased and it has become negative. So this is what is meant by this. It becomes negative as consumption increases. So as consumption increases, marginal utility becomes 0, or it can also become minus 2. Okay, so this is the diagram. This is the total utility and number of units consumed. What does this diagram are saying? That total utility is given on y-axis, number of units consumed given on x-axis. So total utility, as the utility increases from this, your goes down. Total utility, what has happened to the this, your marginal utility has went down. Okay, and it has also become 0 if we can see over here, and it is also decreasing to -1. Okay, sorry, -2 here. So it has also, the line is extended. So in the given figure, total utility, it is measured on y-axis and number of unit consumed is measured on x-axis. So as the number of units here, the number of units are increasing and total utility obtained from it also increases at an increasing rate, and it is decreasing at diminishing rate. Okay. Then marginal utility is measured on y-axis and number of unit consumed is measured on x-axis here. So marginal utility is highest on consumption of first unit. So when during the consumption of first unit, the marginal utility was higher, and now it has got decreased and it has also become negative. Okay, as it is shown in the diagram. So this is what it means. So here we only have to understand this concept that as more and more units of commodity you are consuming, your marginal utility goes down and it also becomes negative. Okay. The next thing is the relation between total utility and marginal utility. What is the relation between this? So total utility is the sum total of marginal utility. Okay, then when the total utility increases as long as marginal utility is positive. When marginal utility is 0, total utility is maximum over here, and when marginal utility is negative, total utility starts diminishing, decreasing. Yeah, the very important thing which you have to learn in this is law of diminishing marginal utility. Okay, so the law of diminishing marginal utility, this concept is very important over here. Law of diminishing marginal utility. Law of diminishing marginal utility. The law, now what does this law states? The law is based upon the fact that as we consume a commodity, the satisfaction derived from each successive unit goes on decreasing. So if you are consuming a product, or if you are consuming a good, okay, your satisfaction level will go down. This is what this states. Okay, so it means marginal utility tends to decline as consumption of the commodity increases. So marginal utility will go down as the consumption of the commodity increases. So this is called as law of diminishing marginal utility. This is also called as fundamental psychological law. Okay. So law of diminishing marginal utility is also called as fundamental psychological law. Okay. The next thing is, so here we only have to understand that as the marginal utility, it tends to decline as consumption of the commodity increases. Now here the assumptions are very important. So it means that as more and more units of commodity are consumed, your marginal utility goes down. Okay, as more and more units of commodity increases, your marginal utility goes down. Okay, so as more and more units of commodity it increases, your marginal utility, obviously, as we discussed for the this above things, that time marginal utility went down. Yes, so here are the assumptions. So only the standard unit of commodity has to be consumed. Okay, then consumption, if you want to achieve this marginal utility, yes, if you want to achieve this marginal utility, then your consumption should be continuous. Okay, it should not be like if you are consuming one thing at 9 a.m. and then other commodity you are consuming at 10 a.m. then you won't be able to achieve this law, achieve the marginal utility. Okay, this law you won't be able to achieve. So the consumption should be continuous. Okay, so the consumption must take place continuously without any interval of time. So the first apple at 10 a.m. and the second apple at 3 p.m. This will not result in your diminishing of marginal utility. If you want to achieve this, then you have to do that continuous consumption of that particular commodity should be there. Okay. Then all units of consumed should be homogeneous in quantity. That is, taste, color, preferences should be homogeneous. Then it assumes that the consumer behaves rationally. It means, what is the main motive of the consumer here? The main motive of the consumer is just to get a satisfaction. So the main motive of consumer is to get satisfaction. So the main motive of consumer is to get satisfaction over here. So this law we can explain with the help of schedule and diagram. So in schedule they have given number of units, how much is the units of a commodity are consumed, and the marginal utility derived. Okay, so from the above table, now from this table what we can see that consumption, as the consumption of the commodity increases, see if I okay, if see number of units consumed over here is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So the units of commodity has increased over here, and your marginal utility, what has happened to the marginal utility? The marginal utility has gone down at a diminishing rate. Okay, so marginal utility tends to diminish with each additional unit. Then zero marginal utility implies that there is complete satisfaction of want. So here there is a complete satisfaction of want. Then negative marginal utility. What does this negative marginal utility shows us? That there is a excessive consumption. Okay, so this is the diagram which is given over here. That is, number of units consumed are given on x-axis, and marginal utility is given on y-axis. So now what has happened to the marginal utility curve? Our marginal utility curve is sloping down. Now it is sloping down from It is sloping down from left to right. Yes. So what does this indicates? This indicates inverse relationship. Okay, so there is a inverse relationship between marginal utility and the number of your commodity consumed. Okay, so here this word is okay. So inverse, INVERSE. This word is very important over here, that there is an inverse relationship between your marginal utility and the number of units consumed. Okay. So the intersection point which we are getting over here, which is cutting down the x-axis, okay, so is this point is a point of full satisfaction. Okay, the point which we are achieving over here at 6, okay, where marginal utility is 0. Remember here marginal utility was 0 now for number of units consumed at this 6. The marginal utility which we derived is 0. So here we got intersection point where the curve cuts the x-axis. Now this curve which is coming from left to right, okay, it is cutting down the x-axis. So it means this is the point of full satisfaction. Okay, so this is the point of full satisfaction. So this is the point of full satisfaction where our marginal utility is 0. So any point, now the point which is going below this point is called as negative utility. Okay, so here also we are achieving negative utility, that is -2 over here. So any point which is going down, okay, it is your negative utility. Okay, so this diagram you have to explain, and also with the help of schedule you have to draw the diagram and you have to write down the explanation for this diagram. Like whenever you are starting with the explanation of the diagram, you should always start with is in the above diagram where the units of commodity consumed are given. It is given on x-axis and the marginal utility is given on y-axis. So this is how you have to state. Okay. Then also with regards to assumptions, if we want to achieve these assumptions, I mean if we want to achieve this marginal utility, okay, then these assumptions are very important. Only the standard unit of commodity like a cup of tea, not a spoon of tea, like this we have to take into consideration. Okay, then consumption of commodity should be continuous. The consumption of commodity should be continuous, and all the commodities which you are consuming, it should be homogeneous in nature. And lastly, the consumer, the main motive of the consumer is to get a maximum satisfaction. Okay, I'm writing over here maximum satisfaction is very important, and this law is also called as fundamental psychological law. So this is with regards to law of diminishing marginal utility. Okay. The next thing what we have got is indifference set. Here indifference set is nothing but it is a set of those combination of two goods which offer the consumer same level of satisfaction. So there is a combination of two goods. So combination of two goods. So this combination of two goods will give us a same level of satisfaction. Okay, so the combination of two goods will give us the same level of satisfaction. This is called as indifference set. So the consumer is indifferent across any number of combination in his indifference set. Okay, also we have to learn over here with regards to indifference set. So it's nothing but a combination of two goods which gives a consumer the same level of satisfaction. So here we have to learn indifference set, indifference schedule, indifference curve. Okay, so we have got indifference schedule means the representation of this two commodities in a tabular form, that is called as schedule. Okay, so when a set of those combination of two goods which offer the consumer the same level of satisfaction is shown in a form of table, and it is called as indifference schedule. Okay, so combination good 1, good 2. Now see here combinations of different goods are given. Like in the A set we have got combination of two goods, good 1, 1 unit, good to 10 units. Okay. Now, so each combination, each combination is offering us the same level of satisfaction to the consumer, no? So that in terms of level of satisfaction, combination A is equal to combination B is equal to combination C is equal to combination D. So all these bundles gives us a equal satisfaction. That is why is indifferent between them. Okay. Then indifference curve. See, whenever the schedule is there, that time obviously indifference curve, and then we have to draw the diagram. This is obvious. We have to draw the diagram and then we have to explain it. Okay. So it is indifference curve is again nothing but it shows a different combination of two goods. Each combination it offers the same level of equal level of satisfaction to the consumer. Okay. So apples are given on x-axis and mangoes are given on your y-axis. So these are the combinations of two goods. Okay, apples and diagram. So different combination, different set of combination A, B, C and D is given, on which it is on it which are available to the consumers. So all these bundles, whether it is A, then B, C, D and E, it is giving a same level of satisfaction to the consumer. Okay. So now in indifference curve, we just have to understand that there will be a different combination of two goods which is giving a same level of satisfaction to the consumer. Okay. Then indifference map. What I mean by indifference map, it refers to a set of indifference curve and which corresponding to different income levels of the consumer. Now, consumer income is obviously different, no? It won't be same equal, it won't be equal, yes. So when two or three indifference curve it combines together, okay, so when the curves it combines together, it is called as indifference map. So higher the indifference curve, the higher will be the satisfaction of the consumer, and lower the indifference curve, lower will be the satisfaction of the consumer. Again, now the combination of two goods are given, apples and mangoes. Okay, so in the above diagram, good one, that is apple is shown on x-axis and mangoes is shown on y-axis. The consumer here is indifferent among the combination lying on the same indifference curve. Now he prefers the combination on the higher indifference curve, that is IC3, indifference curve 3. So it is giving IC to the combination lying on a lower difference curve, IC indifference curve 1. Because higher the indifference curve, it represents higher level of satisfaction. So this indifference curve 3, it is giving a consumer a higher level of satisfaction. Higher level of satisfaction. Okay. So this is with regards to indifference curve, indifference set, indifference schedule, indifference curve, and then we also learn about the diagram and indifference map. Okay. For the next class, we'll be looking after the consumer budget, consumer bundle, then what do you mean by budget set, budget line, and what is the equation for a budget line, everything. Okay. Then also today we learned with regards to what is the law of diminishing marginal utility and the assumptions of law of diminishing marginal utility. Also we learn about the total utility and what is the consumer equilibrium, how the consumer behaves. Consumer behaves rationally, that is he wants a maximum satisfaction. Okay. Thank you.